With Meshell as she talks about life. Everyday people just trying to make it through life. Keep it 100 with Meshell as she talks about life.
Okay, all right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you find this message. It is Motivational Monday, and I am back. Just wanted to take a minute and to be grateful for God on this Monday morning for his amazing blessings that he has done. I'm grateful to God that he has not allowed me to lose my mind in the middle of the process of what I'm going through. I just wanted to stop by. I know it's been a minute. But listen, just hear me out. As you all know, God has brought me back to my hometown, and I kicked and I fought and everything simply because this is a place to me that I consider to be my Lola bar. God bless you, and good morning. This happened to be a place where I lost my son. My son died in this place. I could go on and on and on about the negativity that is in this place. And so I ran away, considering it to be Lola bar for me. And God, for some unknown reason, decided to allow me to come back under undue circumstances that were not of my own. Now, I would have never put this on my list of things to do. I wouldn't have done that, but God knows best. He knows best for me. It took a couple weeks for me to just sit back in it because I fought and I was fighting with it mentally. And even though I'm talking to you in the natural, I want you to catch me in the spirit realm. Right. So God he actually has a reason of why he allows a thing to happen. And I looked at the situation and I was discombobulated. I was stressed out. I didn't understand what God was doing. It didn't make sense to me. I asked the Lord, are you punishing me? What is this? And listen, my family and friends were ecstatic. They were so happy that I was back. And not only did they just say it in word, act, indeed, they sent action behind their excitement. And every morning I would wake up. I woke up on my granddaughter's bunk bed on the bottom, and I cried like a baby. I cried. Before I went to bed, I cried like a baby. And I said, God, this does not feel good. And it seemed like it was right at the breaking of things that you were going to do for me in my life. I got prophetic messages of where you were going to take me. I'm hoping this music isn't too loud, but I got prophetic messages of where you were going to take me. There were blessings that you were laying in my lap, and then all of a sudden, it seemed as if I hit a brick wall. So I'm trying to figure this out. God, what is your strategy? What is your plan? what is your will for my life? And God did not answer me. I didn't hear him. But then again, he could have been answering me, and he could have been letting me know. But because I was so upset with God and I was so upset with this move, I could not hear anything. So about 2 or 3 weeks, what the Lord did was he took me through a purging in my mind. He took me through a purging in my spirit. He took me through a purging just in my mental, right? And I kind of felt like, all right, God, you're taking me back to Lola. There's nothing good in this place for me. And what God did was he didn't change my situation. This is Motivational Monday from Coach Meshell.A. He did not change my situation. Yeah, he didn't. He made sure that I'm still here. I'm still living at my daughter's house from after, living on my own for so many years. Um, he didn't change the situation. He kept the situation the same. But what God was doing throughout the past couple weeks is he was doing a purging within me, within my mind. He was doing a purging within my spirit, right? He was doing a purging in everything that concerned me. So what God did was he changed me in the middle of a situation that I thought was negative. And so what I was praying, and this is nothing spiritual, nothing spooky, but I was praying and I was seeking the Lord, and I said, God, I need clarity. I need clarity because listen, at any given time, I can pick up and I can find somewhere to go. I can find something to do. If I really wanted to be somewhere, I could find it. It's not like I can't. Right? But it would all be the wrong way. It would be with the wrong people. It would be in the wrong timing, right? So I sat in it. I sat in this place that seems to me to be very uncomfortable. I sat in this place where when I woke up every morning, I'm crying. My spirit is, I don't know if you've ever been broken in your spirit. Not just in situations or in your heart, but broken in your spirit. And I felt like I was broken in my spirit. But God, he gave me the strength to sit in it. He gave me the strength to wait. He gave me the gift to be patient until he opened up a door. And I still don't see a door open, but he's given me the patience to wait until he opens up a door for me, right? And so I'm finding that my mindset is changing. I'm finding that my spirit man is becoming stronger. I'm finding that my mindset is becoming more wiser. And I'm actually seeing in the middle of what I would call a bad situation, I'm actually seeing that I'm stronger than what I thought. Y'all hear me clearly. Y'all hear me clearly. I'm finding out that I'm stronger. I'm wiser than what I thought. But the enemy had me seeing nothing but a smoke screen. He had me seeing nothing but all negativity. He had me seeing that there is nothing good that could come out of this. When the whole time God has a plan. He had a plan. And I'm just sitting up there, and I guess when I was praying and everything, the Lord was just like, I need you to change your mindset of the way that you're looking at this, because you're actually living in victory, right? This is what the Lord told me, you're actually living in victory. You're actually I'm dwelling in victory. Right? And what he wanted to do is he wanted to purge my mind. He wanted to purge my spirit so that oh God, hallelujah. So that when he does drop the blessing in my lap, I'll be able to perceive it. I'll be able to handle it. I'll be able to enjoy it in my place of victory. So what the Lord also told me, I'm not going to tell you all the nuggets that he told me, but what he did tell me is that even though he brought me back to this place, he didn't bring me back the same way that I left. Ooh, Jesus. He did not bring me back the same way that I left. Because when I left, I was broken. When I left, I didn't know who I was. When I left, I didn't have a prayer life. When I left, I had the spirit of seduction on me. When I left, I was insecure. It was so much that was going on with me when I left, right? And what God did was he molded me and he made me in those 15 years, he showed me like it was as if God took me to a land that I knew thereof, but yet he cleaned me up in that land, and he fixed me up in that land, and he strengthened me in that land, and then he decided to bring me back, right? Or I'll say he decided to launch me forward into a place that now I can be a help. Right. I don't worry about the opinions of others. I don't worry about whether you think I should do it, whether you think I shouldn't do it. I don't worry about that. I no longer focus on, oh God, I don't got no support. I do. I do. I got support. I do. I have support. And so I had to go through those past couple of weeks so that God could show me that I'm no longer in the same place, even though I'm in the same place. Y'all hear me? Because that right there was good. That was a good nugget right there. Even though it seems as if I'm in the same place, my spirit, my mind, my soul, my heart, my focus, all of that is no longer in the same place. Now, one would think I'd come back and I'd go to my son's graveyard and I'd sit at my son's graveyard and I cry there and all that. But guess what? I was driving the other day and I haven't been there, and it's okay. Listen, it is okay if I do go back. It's okay. If I want to go back, I will go back. It is okay. But it's not in my heart's desire at this moment to have to go back. Because guess what the Lord told me? You're at the graveyard and you're crying and you're grieving, which is okay. The Lord told me this. It's okay. But I need you to know he's not there. He's not in that grave. My son's not in that grave. My son is gone, been to be with his father years ago. Right? So all I was doing was sitting there and I was just going over the old memories, the memories of how he was, what he did, all that kind of stuff. And I was kind of not, I don't want to say wasting time, but I was stalling time. I was kind of like stalling time, if that makes sense to you. Like I'm stuck. I was stuck. I was stagnated in a place of something negative that happened when God wanted to polish me, clean me off, and use me concerning that tragedy. Concerning that situation, God desires to use me because I very seldom talk about it, but there's victory in this. There is victory in this place that seems like it's lack. There's victory in this place where it seems like there's no fruit. There's victory in this place where it seems like it's barren. There's victory. I'm living in victory. And as the songwriter said, you shall live to see it happen, right? God gave us some promises. God placed some things over our lives that he desires to use us. He desires to speak through you. He desires to, and we're laying stagnated and we're laying stuck back here. And God is saying, no, I need to snatch you from back here. I need to bring you to the forefront. I need to clean your heart. I need to heal your mind. I need to heal your spirit. I need to heal your soul so that I can take you back here. But when I take you, but when I take you back, I don't want to take you back where you're broken. I don't want to take you back where you remember all negative stuff. I don't want to take you back where you feel like you have to have need of everybody else. I want to take you back. And I want you to realize that you're strong. I want you to realize that you've moved from that place. I want you to realize that there is good that lies on the inside of you. I want you to realize that there's no weapon that's formed against you shall prosper. And so that's what God told me over this weekend, that I wanted, I wanted to just take you back. And I wanted to take you back, but I wanted you to realize that you're whole, that you're complete, that you're healed in the place where you lost a lot of things so that you can be a help right in a bad place, right? And so my situation hasn't changed. It hasn't, but I'm changed. And I'm waiting patiently. I'm rocking patiently. I'm sitting patiently until God comes through for me. Because he has a purpose and he has a plan. He does. He does. Listen, and sometimes I sit and I think, what if I am moping and complaining this long and I'm holding up my blessings? I was holding up my breakthrough. I was holding up my husband from coming to get me, right? I was holding up so many things that God had in his plan or in this process for when he brought me back. Listen, I was roaming and riding like a lost kid. I was waking up every morning. Normally, I'm the type of person, I have a plan. I have a schedule of things that I'm going to do on that day, where I'm going to go. And when I came back, I was lost. But one thing I want to say is that God is keeping my mind. Listen, it is a real thing. It is a real thing when you don't know whether you're going or you're coming. I don't care how spiritual you are. It don't matter. It don't matter how many people you bless. It doesn't matter how many people you prophesy to. Listen, that place where your mental, your mindset, like it's as if you're chasing it. That's a real place, and people lose it. I was thinking like, dag, in this process that I've been through, some people would have committed suicide. God's grace and His mercy kept me. Oh, it knocked on my door. It did. It knocked on my door to say, listen, you don't have anything, Meshell. You don't even know what your tomorrow is going to look like, Meshell. That's what the devil was saying. And I had to remember, God healed me from cancer 3 times. I got victory. God gave me victory. I had 12. I know y'all know this, but I'm saying for me, I had 12 chemo treatments. I have made it through 7 radiations. I made it through the death of my son. I didn't lose my mind. I know what it is to, for real, be homeless and sleep in my car and nobody knows about it. And that's not the place where I'm at. I know what it is to be depressed, to be depressed. I know what it is to deal with depression and anxiety. I know about that. And that's not where I'm at. I know what it is to feel like you don't have support. And that's not where I'm at. I like just like the devil was knocking on my door and speaking to me, I had to knock back and remind him, but that's not where I'm at. I'm in a good place. 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 And I just wanted to come on today, Motivational Monday, and remind you that you are in a good place. You are, if God has brought you back, or you've come, I'll say, if you come full circle to anything in your life and it's uncomfortable, if you come full circle to anything in your life, or people have come back in your life and you're trying to figure out why, and you know they didn't like you, or you know that they were trouble, or you know that they were gossipers, ask the Lord, what is my assignment in this? Right? Because we spend most of our time complaining of God, why? I don't understand. I don't like it. And God, guess what God does? He's breaking down your flesh. He's breaking down your will. And this is what he's done for me in these past 3 weeks. And some people would say, well, that's not really a victory. That's not really a testimony, but it is. It is. Because it's not my will. You know how they said, not my will, but your will be done. And we say it, we quote it. But when it comes down, when the rubber meets the road, do we really mean it? Right? And this is kind of how it was for me. I'm up there hollering, God, your will be done in my life. God, I'll do what you say. God, I'll say yes. God, I'll be what you want me to be. I'll be the vessel you want me to be. All this stuff. And when he brings you back to an uncomfortable place, or when he brings your mind back to a place that feels like you are in a desert or in a valley, or when you lose everything, or when everybody walks away from you, or when your name is scandalized or you're criticized, do you remember your yes then? Do you remember what you told the Lord? Will you still walk for him? Will you still preach his word, or do you need a minute to breathe? Do you need a minute to catch up? Do you need a minute to figure it out? Do you need a minute? Guess what? God don't have a minute. He don't have a minute. But I'm grateful that he was patient with me until I got my crazy mindset together. Because this move back for me, it ain't nothing natural. It's that God desires to use me in a whole nother way. Listen, I fight it with everything inside of me. This is not where I desire to be. But God was like, I'm breaking your will because you can't have your way all the time. When God wants to use you, listen, if he brought me back for one person that was on the verge of committing suicide, it's worth it. And that's what I want to tell you on today. Whatever it is you're going through, whatever your aches is, whatever your body pains is, whatever it is you feel like you're lacking, whatever it feels like you may have, your whole will is lost and you need to depend on other people, it is worth it. Because listen, I'm finding ministry in everything. I'm finding God's hand in everything. God can break you down just to get the attention of one person. And you never know who that one person is. And most times we overlook the person who, most of the time we overlook the person who needs us the most. We overlook the person that needs us the most. Listen, so this was a nugget that my mother gave me when I was here, and I looked at it different. She said, I was at my daughter's house. I'm here at my daughter's house, and I was laying on the bunk bed of my granddaughter. I have two granddaughters and a grandson. And well, first of all, let me say this. So when I was where I was at, I was dealing with depression. I was dealing with anxiety. I was in a beautiful home. In a beautiful home. God bless. God made ways. God made provision. God really moved. God used me on that street. But maybe my season was over for that because I was dealing with depression. I was dealing with anxiety, and God had me covered. Right? And so now looking at it different, this move back home was a blessing for me because I don't know what the enemy may have had set up for me. I don't know. So coming back, I'm laying on on my daughter's bunk bed, my granddaughter's bunk bed, and I'm emotional. I'm crying. I'm depressed. I'm just really, really going through just between me and God. Nobody else seen it between me and God. I think I talked to my mother the next day, and my mother said, "Well, how do you know that God doesn't have you there for your grandkids?" I never looked at that because I was so absorbed and so focused in what I was going through. That's what I want to tell y'all. Don't focus on what it is you're going through. Don't, because God will use anything to draw you to your knees. He'll use anything to get you to create a blessing. Listen, God knows how to create the perfect storm to get you to the place where he wants you to be at. All right. So I call my mother. I'm talking to my mother, and I'm just going through. I'm like going through. She said, how do you know that God didn't bring you back for your grandkids? And I was like, what? That didn't even make sense to me. But I started looking at it different. And so that same night, after I talked to my mother, I went upstairs, and my grandbaby had face, she's my grandbaby is real dainty. And so was putting on the face mask to clean her face off and everything. And I said, I asked her what it was, and she told me. And she said, Mom, can I put it on your face? And I said, yeah. So we sat on that same bunk bed that I was crying, and we sat on that same bunk bed. And she said, we're going to have a girls' night. And she said, this is what she said. She said, I'm so excited. And probably about a couple hours ago, I'm just broken and just crying to my mother and all that kind of stuff. And within 2 hours, this is what happens. When I changed my mindset and I changed my heart, the way that I was looking at this, the way I was perceiving this. And so we sat on that bunk bed, and she put the face mask on my face, and she was saying, girls' night. And then she said, we're having oh my God, I forget, a care day, something about a care day or mental health day or something like that. She's saying it. But yet she didn't even know she was speaking to my spirit because my life had been so busy. My life had been so on the go. My life has been helping everybody else out, being there for everybody else, making sure that I'm taking care of everybody else's needs. And I never took a minute to take care of my own needs. And the Lord literally used my granddaughter. She was doing all this stuff on me and talking about it was a mental health day. And that's when my spirit broke. That's when I started looking at things totally different. Like, okay, God, you have a plan and you know what we need, even though we don't like it and it's not part of the process that we may want to go through. But this is part of the process. This is the way that He has for you to get to your next. This is the pathway that He desires for you to take. So I know I said all that, but I just want you to settle yourself down today. I want you to settle your spirit down today. I just want you to shut out all the voices that are speaking to you, the devil's voice, your mama daddy's voice, the church's voice, your preacher's voice, your own voice. Shut down all of those voices and just hear the voice of God and just see God in everything. Just like everything you touch, let it be God. Every step you make, let it be God, because God is talking to you. And God is coming for that broken area in your life. He is. So listen, if you're a type of person where you feel like I don't ever need nobody, I can do it on my own, da 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 da, and God has got you in a situation or He's got you in a place where you have to depend on people and you have to lean on people, don't be focusing on who you want near you, because who you want near you may not be the person that God has ordained to be near you. Listen, He may take the person who you feel don't have your stuff and He may use them to get you to your next. So listen, that's my message on today. I hope that it was inspiring. I hope that it was encouraging. Just let God be God in everything. Let God break you. It's all right. Let God break you. You want to be strong. You want to do it on your own. Just stop. Stop. You're wasting time. You're wasting God's precious time. And when that door opens for you, when that door opens, it won't just open, beloved. It will bust wide open. And you'll know that it's God. And I really believe that God will applaud you and say, well done. You got the message. You finally got the message of why I got you in this place. And yours may not be coming back to your family. That may not be yours. Yours may be an illness. Yours may be a sickness. Yours may be a lack of something. But you may be in that corner just rocking back and forth. Listen, stick with God, because it is so easy to lose your mindset in this. I got a chance to feel how important it is for you to be there for someone else and someone else to be there for you. I made a comment several times. I said, oh my God. I said, I understand how easy it is for people to commit suicide if they didn't have God. How easy it is for people to commit suicide if they don't have a support system. Because listen, I was battling with my mind every single day. And listen, the world was going on with their life. The world was going on with their life. I said, God makes this look so easy. You could be in something, a tragedy. You could be in trauma. You could be in lack, whatever it is, your trauma. You could be sitting in there. And listen, God is so wise and He is so amazing that He will cover you and He will cover your mindset. And He will, when you step out of the place that you're in, that you're feeling, when you step out of it, God is so amazing that He will make it look like you are walking through it with a breeze. He will make it look like it's victory all around you, which it is, but He will make it look like where the people don't see what it is you're going through, but they see God. They see nothing but God in you. And you're trying to figure out, do they see where I'm going? Do they see what I'm going through? Do they know that I feel like I'm almost broken? Do they feel like I'm lack? Do they even know I feel like I don't have anything or anybody around me? Do they see it? They don't see it. All they see is God. And beloved, that is the best place to be when all they can when all they can see is God. You are in the right place when all they can see is God. God has got you take care of. You are not going to fall apart in this. You are not going to lose your mind in this. You are not even going to lose in this. I just need you to know. I need you to take a grip and know that God has got you. And you walk out there with your head up high. Don't put your head down. You walk out there with your head up high and proud, knowing that God is the one that brought me here, and God is the one that did this, and God is the one that said that He's going to carry me through this. Put your trust back in God, not in people, because people will fail you every single time. Put your trust back in God, in the God that you serve. Put your trust back in God. You are not going to make it through this without God. In Him I live, in Him I move, and in Him I have my being. It's only God. And guess what? God will shake you up and keep shaking you up and keep shaking you up. And He will, like chess game, He will move people around and put people in position just for you. So listen, God has got you. You're not going to fall apart in this. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. And greater is He that's in you than he that's in the world. God knows what you have need of before you ask. These are all scriptures. Go to the word and cause the word to work for you. You guys have an amazing rest of your week. And know that this thing that you're in, this is God. This is God. So, govern yourself accordingly. Because you're going to go all the way through it until you get the message, until God gets out of you what He wants out of you. For me, I'm looking like, I can do this. I can do this because I see clear now. It ain't about the people who are around me. It ain't about the people who are pushing me. No, this is God's plan. This is something that God wants done through me, and He's going to do it. If I have to cry every night, if I have to cry every day, if I have to feel broken every single day, that's me holding up my own process. But whatever I got to do, He's coming after. He's coming after the gift that He's placed on the inside of me. And He's coming after that gift that He's placed on the inside of y'all. So listen, let your crying be your crying with faith. I'm crying knowing that God is going to bring me out of this, right? So if He's taking you back to something that you thought you were through, just let God get that residue. Let him get that stuff. Let Him get that chunk. Let Him get that smoke screen out of you. Because baby, as they said, baby, this is about ministry, right? And the tears that you're crying right now, it's about ministry, right? The loneliness that you're feeling right now, it's about ministry. And if you feel like things have been taken from you right now, it's about ministry. If there's reminders of things that happened to you in the past and they're now brought to the forefront, I need you to take a minute. I need you to breathe and I need you to deal with it. I need you to go through the process because guess what? Someone or some bodies are going to come in your pathway and you're going to be able to share with them what you experienced. Not, oh, I went through this and I went through it with a breeze and I didn't go through that. No, you're not the person that God's trying to use because God wants the people to feel that I was broken. I felt like I was going to lose it all. I didn't understand why I was crying about this today or why I felt this today and this happened years ago. Baby, go through it because you are the one that God is wanting to use. I'm going to say this and then I'm getting out of here. I promise you. And so I was in one of my low moments. I thought was a low moment, but it really wasn't. And I love going to the water. And so being in my hometown, I scoped out a place where there's a water. And I do my own advertisement and all of that with my frames and everything. So I went to the water to take pictures. And I walked past a car and there was a young lady and she had all these clothes and stuff in her car. Her car almost looked like my Mercedes. My Mercedes had clothes and baskets and stuff in it. And when I went around it, I felt something. Like I felt her. And I walked past and I went to place my stuff down at the water so I could start my picture taking. And the Holy Spirit yanked me and said, go back to that young lady and give her your card. And I don't know this woman. I ain't never seen this girl a day in my life. I don't even know why she was there. I've been coming there for a while, but I didn't know why she was there. But out of obedience, out of obedience, I turned around and I went back and I knocked on her door. This little white girl and I'm this black woman banging on the door. And I said, "Man," paraphrasing, I said, "Man, I don't know what you're going through, but I need you to know that God loves you. I don't know what it is you're thinking right now in your mindset, but I've been there." I said, "Matter of fact, I'm there now." I said, "And God has not left me. He's not. I need you to know that what you're going through is for a reason." And I told her, "You may not understand right now, but I just need you to go through this," right? I gave her my card. I said, "My number is on this card. You don't know me, I don't know you. And if you feel like you're about to give up at any time, you give me a call." I said, "And I will answer my phone and I will be there for you." Let me tell you something. You're probably like, "Shell, did she call?" She did. And she did. And she did. And she did. And I didn't think that I was strong enough to be able to be here for that woman. She called. I didn't even know who she was when she called. She said, "Ma'am," she said, "Do you remember meeting me at the water?" And I had my stuff in the car. And I said, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "I was thinking about committing suicide." She said, "But you stopped but what you were doing and you came and you had a conversation with me." And she said, "I just wanted to chat with you." And the stuff this woman told me shook me. And it caused me to realize that, Shell, that little thing that you talking about, that little thing that you crying about, they ain't nothing compared to what this girl is really going through. And I moved my stuff to the side and I repented to the Lord because I was moping and complaining about something that was so small when listening to this stranger whose stuff was way more overwhelming than mine. And you may say, "Shell, what are you talking about? What are you saying that for?" I'm saying go through what you're going through right now, what you're going through, what you're feeling lacking, what you're feeling discombobulated in, what you're crying about. Go through it. Go through it. Because it ain't for you anyway. Right? It's going to be somebody that God puts in your pathway that's going to need you. You move it to the side. You do ministry. If it comes back, you go through it. And that's the way the process works. Listen, you guys have an amazing rest of your week. Do it on purpose. Thank you guys for sitting and listening to me today. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to hit like and I want you to share. Please share this message out to someone else. Even if you don't like me, I ain't worried about that. But I'm hoping that you got the message. Because listen, this that you're going through, it can break you if you let it. You can lose your mind in this if you let it. But let me tell you something. You can gain victory in it if you let it. I just see that God has got me in this. I will not fall apart in this. And, and I say, "Oh, I'm homeless." And some church people be looking at me, "Girl, don't be saying you homeless. Don't be saying that you ain't got no place to say. God is providing." And I be looking at, look, let me tell you something. This is the truth. This is my truth. You may not like my testimony. I'm sorry. You may not like my testimony, but this is my truth. And this is part of my story, right? And God is going to open the door wide open. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I said, "God, you told me to come off my job. I'm being obedient. I don't have a job. So I can't go to a place and say, 'Hey, you got a home and, I make this amount on the hours.' No, but what I can say is God has been sustaining me. What I can say is that God has allowed me to have some money in the bank. Yes. To be able to still, because I still got bills. I still got bills. I still got bills. But God has allowed me to have money in the bank to be able to pay my bills. God has dropped me in people's spirits, on people's mind, in people's hearts, and they have sowed. I don't know why I'm doing this, but the Lord just told me to do this. I woke up one morning and somebody from New Jersey had cashed at me $50. I don't even know why she's cashed at me. She didn't say why. So in this place that seems like it is a terrible place to me, is a place of wealth. It is a place of victory. It is a place of joy. It's just if I can just find it inside. The Bible says, "Stir up the gift within," and I'm staring at the gift. This place of pain has called me to run back to praise dancing. Y'all, I ain't praise dance over 5 years, but this pain, this dilemma, this struggle has caused me to run back to my gift and to rededicate my gift and give it back to God. And God blessed me through the gift that He's given me. So listen, if you lacked anything, if you're not doing, you stop doing for whatever reason, go back to it. Because you might be waiting on a person, a man, a woman, a child, or whatever, to bring you out of this, baby. No, you got the goods on the inside of you. You waiting for a prophetic word. Get in that good mirror. I shall live and I shall not die, and I shall declare the work of the Lord. Woo! Honey, put the scriptures in the atmosphere and let God move on your behalf. Stop trying to do it on your own. Stop trying to depend on other people. This is Motivational Monday from Coach Meshell.A. Listen, stop trying to depend on everybody else to have your word. Look in that mirror. Open up your mouth and speak life over your situation, because God has got you. And hear and see God in everything, right? Because you're in a good place. You are. I know you're crying. I know you don't like this. I know this seems crazy, but baby, you in a good place. If you can see God speak victory over your life. Songwriter said, "For all my life." They sung it last night. Said, "All my life, God, you have been faithful. And all my life, you have been so, so good. Every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of the Lord." They sung that song last night, and it was just so amazing, because when I looked over my life, again, having cancer, being homeless, son being killed, dealing with depression, anxiety, and I'm able to still say, all my life, my whole entire life, that my life has been crazy. A lot of depression, a lot of lonely moments, but I could open up my mouth and say, all my life, God, you have been faithful. And your goodness and your mercy has kept me. Listen, I've been to the hospital where the doctors were hollering. My friends were saying the doctors were hollering, code blue, which means I'm almost dying. I've been in the hospital on my deathbed. So what am I complaining about? What am I struggling about at this moment? Listen, I could be out there in the streets living on the ground, but I'm not. I'm complaining because I had to go back and live with my daughter. All my life, God has been faithful. I need you to know that. God is faithful in this. He is. And listen, and you can have everything you want, and you can have everything you desire and not have peace. But one thing I can say is I got peace in this. All my life, you've been faithful. And all my life, you've been so, so good. And with every breath that I'm able, I will sing of the goodness of the Lord. I'm not talking about a song. I'm talking about that when I woke up this morning, there was new grace and there was new mercy. When I woke up this morning, I know that God was the strength of my life. When I woke up this morning, I knew and I know that God is able. All right. You guys have an amazing day. And do it on purpose. I'm closing for real.
Meshell as she talks about life.